3, 2, and we're live, everybody. Welcome back to the Briones Pickleball Podcast. This is your host, Jordan Briones, co-host right there to my right.
What is up, everybody?
There you go, Caden Nemeth.
Yup, we're back.
We're back, everybody. We're back in action. Thank you for all those listeners and viewers out there that watch us every time we release
a new podcast, or even when I'm not in it, or you're not in it, or that never happened.
Yeah. But we may have some guests on. We may have some guests on at some point.
For sure.
That would be kind of cool.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
All right. In this podcast, though, we're going to talk quickly about the last PPA. Is it Red Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Not Blue Rocks here or green, Red Rocks.
No.
And then we're going to do some Q&A. Some of the questions that you have submitted, we're going to talk about that. If you would like to submit other questions or, other questions in the future, we're going to have a little link down below where you can send that in. And then we're going to talk about at the very end, if you're interested in our MLP takes, MLP is next week.
Mm-hmm.
We have our...
No. Whoa.
This week?
MLP is this week.
This week, okay. We have our good Asian friend, Augie Ga.
Yup.
He was on the pod. Obviously, he's in a lot of videos. Go check out. There's a lot of videos. We just released a supercar video. And if you haven't seen that, we had the pros competing for a Ferrari. That was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
So we won't spoil it.
I can't spoil anything, but it was a good day. So it was a good day.
Go check out a good windy day.
Oh yeah.
And then so we have Augie competing at the MLP. Obviously, we're going to be rooting for him. But at the end of the show, we're going to be talking about our kind of picks for our top teams. So stick around for that. But we are going to be, the bulk of this is going to be Q&A, answering your questions about strategy, positioning, technique, those kinds of things. Caden. Quick update, 30-second update. What do you have going on? And we're going to jump right into, we're going to jump right into it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my sponsors and your sponsors, of course. So Selkirk, of course, and Avalon coming out with the fresh new gear.
Don't be, not to be confused with Avalanche.
No. Avalon, and I'm actually wearing the hat right now. It's backwards, but Avalon, a little crusty, musty, dusty from playing, but it's all right. Love this hat, and of course, if I'm flexible enough, LA Gear. Shoes are coming out soon, but they're pretty sick. They're pretty legit.
Pickleball shoes, huh?
Oh yeah, court shoes, and they come in neon green and all white, so pretty cool colors. And but besides that, I actually have been
traveling a
lot. And I moved out of my apartment
into
a different apartment this week. So I can't lie, I have to actually go to my old apartment after this podcast and continue to clean out my stuff. But I did get all the big stuff out, so it'll be fairly easy and fairly light. Just got to make a few trips because my car is not that big.
All right. Well, there you go. I've been teaching intensives every week. It's been busy for me. And excited for this summer, actually.
Ooh, what's going on?
We're here in Arizona, and this summer, June and July, I'm going to be going with my family up to Boise, Idaho.
Whoa.
You know what? A lot of people, I tell people a lot, if you haven't been to Boise, they just go, what the heck is in Boise? And I know, but it's very, very, very beautiful there. So
it actually is really pretty.
If you haven't been to Boise, it's a nice place. So a little bit cooler than the heat here.
For sure.
So, but Caden and I, in June or July, if you're watching this right now, there are a few spots open left in the 5-day VIP intensive.
First ever.
Yes, in June and July, we're going to be doing more of them, but specifically this summer, if you want a fully comprehensive training, you want a full breakdown of your game, and you want a full week with Caden and I.
Yeah. It's going to be legit.
It's going to be, what do the kids say nowadays? Lit?
It's going to be lit.
Okay. All right. But seriously, if you are, if you're looking for something and you want the highest level training, We work on the 4 pillars of the game. We've done this on a video before, but your movement, your footwork, super important piece. Technique.
We do it all.
Obviously, really important. Strategy, shot selection, and the mindset, the mental game.
Yep.
Without all those things, I'm sure in one of those areas, we're all improving. So
yeah,
I'm trying to improve in all those areas, actually.
As am I.
So we'd love to see you on the court. Go in the link in the description below if you are interested, because we only have, I think, 2 or 3 spots left in the June or July. So please sign up. Again, we're doing it based on skill level. So when you go to this, you're not going to be playing with somebody that is 2 levels below you or 2 levels above you, not even a level below you or above you. I personally watch everyone's film coming in. So it is the best training experience for the coaches and the players.
Just like you said, it's lit.
Okay. There you go. So we're gonna hop right in, and we're gonna talk about Red Rock.
We're gonna talk about the last PPA that happened the last weekend of April. It's now the first week of May.
Here we go.
Or second week of May.
Selkirk. Oh, shout out to Selkirk again.
This
Carvana
is like
PPA Tour Red
Selkirk's
Rock
favorite tournament right here.
Open, and on the front page, hot off the press, Anna. You'll notice. Anna Lee Waters looks a little different.
She does. She looks a lot like Etta Wright, and that's because it is Etta Wright.
Yeah.
And this is now
So
the second tournament Ben has won with Etta this year,
Yes.
because Anna Lee's taken a few tournaments off.
okay, so Anna Lee went to or she stayed home at the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Ben Johns proves that he can win again with different partners, but Etta is a beast. I didn't get to watch that final. Did you watch it at all, Caden?
I unfortunately drove back.
Okay,
Sunday.
You were driving back. Okay, but Etta, obviously, I think I mentioned it in a podcast before, but just on the women's side, she's just really smooth to me. I mean, super high IQ, her resets, the way she moves, her backhand slice. She plays like a Ben. Like, to me, she plays kind of like Ben a little bit.
She's an impressive player.
You know, and she's a mom. So that's pretty impressive.
And she's super humble and super sweet, and she's actually a really cool person.
So Etta Wright, if you're watching this, we'd love to have you on the pod at some point.
That'd be cool.
Okay, so that was that. We're going to go through the men's doubles final. We will do this for the women's as well, but stats. But we're gonna
know
be.
where you were going with that.
I don't know. I was trying to actually come up with a really cool word, but actually, even when kind of pickleball was still on the rise there, Caden, like obviously. When we started this game, there was none of this. Right?
No,
we did not have stats at all.
I mean, we didn't have this 2 years ago, but
Yeah. But what I could say is I didn't know how effective it was going to be, man, to be honest, like looking at stats, but obviously it proves every sport. But what is really cool is it is interesting to look at some of these. So men's doubles final, let's just talk about, again, the road. We got Dylan Frazier, JW, against Andre Diascu and Gabe Tardillo. And we had, we had Andre and Gabe on the podcast. Obviously, they've shown to be dominant forces. But Andre and Gabe actually got the very first bagel, I believe, on the Johns, 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was the first. I don't know if that's happened. I know they've lost 11-1.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever lost 11-0, but
yeah, so that was on the road.
It was pretty crazy.
It was on the road, and comment below if you would like me to break down that match. But Dylan Frazier, JW, we've seen them be obviously at the top and probably one of the most consistent teams.
Yeah. So. Well, and it's important to note that, I mean, Dylan and JW have played Andre and Gabe before, and not just on the PPA side, but the APP side as well. And I'm pretty sure
they practice with each other, man.
Well, yeah, of course.
So like they know each other's game.
Yeah, but it's funny because I think Andre and Gabe beat them in Sacramento.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. They beat Andre and Gabe beat J-Dub and Dylan in Sacramento, but then I think they've played them 3 other times, and that was Miami, Mesa, and this one, and Dylan and JW have won. So
okay, so anyways, sorry as I chew on some boba here, but here we go. So I want to go through some of these stats here. Here we go. So obviously, Dylan and JW won in 3 straight games.
Yep, 13-11.
13-11, really close first game, 11-1 and 11-9. So here we go. So, 1,300 shots, average, in a 3-set or 3-game match. I mean, I wonder if this is average. I'd have to look at, maybe we'll compare it to the women's, but okay. So 1,300 shots there. 11 shots per rally, and we're gonna go and we're not gonna go through every single stat here, but the ones that stand out to me. So longest, we got 44 shots, okay, and then 44, 36, and 33, and this is
the stat that surprises me right here.
Yeah, this is where we get into some really, really high level stuff and stuff to look out for, but let's just go as a team, Diaskew and Tardio. Okay, so drop percentage, and we'll keep an eye on this, Caden, but we got basically 68% drops for Tardio and Diaskew. And then when we look at Frazier and JW Johnson, we got 38% drops.
That's pretty crazy.
That's actually surprising. I thought it would be flipped. You would think that would be flipped.
Well, you would think Tardio would drive a ton.
Yeah.
Gabe drives a good amount.
Dude, actually,
Andre drops a good amount, and then both J-Dub and Dylan. I don't think I've ever seen J-Dub's numbers or even Frazier's number or Dylan's numbers with drives at higher percentage. But hey, that's pretty wild.
So very interesting there. And so again, we got JW and Frazier 38% drops. So that really means what am I doing this math right? 62%, right? Drives, right? And then Tardio and Diaskew at 68% drops. So maybe you tell me this, Kaden, maybe this is a thing. Frazier and Johnson with the high drive percentage. Do you think something has to do, when it's windy or that maybe they're not feeling good about drops, but do you think it has to do with Tardio's counters or out of the air? Or they're his fourth shots, right?
I just think maybe they felt like, it really depends on what's going on and the situation, really. Yeah. Like, I feel like when I play a match, I'll always kind of start with the drives. And, if I can kind of test the hands early and see if I can get maybe some free points out of it, I will. And then eventually maybe I'll start mixing in the drops. But it kind of looks like J-Dub and Dylan kind of found something with the drives. And obviously it worked. They won each game.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to go back and analyze that one. But
they didn't drop a game.
Yeah, so either
something must have been working.
Yeah, so either drives developing very, very easy fits for them, or maybe there was some shake and bake opportunities, or like you said, maybe finding their weakness on their 4-shot counter. So the thing I look at here before we go into the next one, Kaden. So check it out. Like when we're going for more drives, if I'm going for more drops in a game. If my drops don't feel good and they're floating, they're rolling now, they're fourths, or they're stepping back and hitting heavy topspin. So,
for sure.
So if that's the case too, that's why you and me would drive as an option to set up an easy fit. So
for sure.
But here's what Kaden actually brought up to me. So we're gonna go to the next huge stat right
here. This one actually is bonkers.
It just goes to show you what the top players do. So third shots kept into play. So just to reiterate for everybody here,
third shot drops and third shot drives.
So basically, when the return comes back, when these top pros are hitting their third, whether it's a little, so this also counts on high drops.
For sure.
You know, just basically in play. So basically the team has hit a fourth, right? So this is kind of that example of making them hit a ball, making them make a play. So I ask you, out of 36 third shot attempts, we got 33 went over the net. So whether it was a good drive, mediocre drive, whether it was a good drop, or
still went over the net. It was in play.
So 91%.
91%.
Tardio, 14 out of 15, 93%. Frazier, 39 out of 41, 95%. And Johnson, 34 out of 36, 94%. Now, if you look, Caden, and you know what's really interesting? These numbers look like very, very high percentage numbers on free throws in the basketball world.
Honestly, I feel like I'm looking at my GPA right now, you know? All those 90s.
Okay. All right. I don't know about that one. But here we go. But seriously, like in basketball, if you're in the 90s, even low 90s, that's elite.
Yeah.
Elite.
Oh, for sure. If you shoot even in the 80s, that's pretty good for free throws.
So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But again, I think that mid 90s, low 90s. I mean, look at these pros. That means 9 out of 10, not lackadaisical. They're moving their feet and they're really making an effort to miss high.
Yeah,
I would say, on some of them, and be patient. Be patient in transition. You don't not having to hit a perfect third. Go ahead.
I'll tell you right now, like probably one of the biggest differences in like your top 5 pros compared to your top 15 pros.
Yeah.
Is I guarantee you those top 5 pros, every one of those guys 90% successful on their drops or more, right?
Yeah.
Once you go past 5, like that number does go down. And like, I mean, shoot, I can tell you right now, I'm going to have days where I'm 9 out of 10. I'm going to have days where I'm 6 out of 10. It's not going to cut it. But to have all 4 players sitting at 90% and higher in a match, that's actually pretty bonkers. Like, I don't think people realize how crazy that is.
Yeah. So Caden, obviously, right, we're drilling whatever. You have great technique, great footwork on drops, right, whatever, right? Why do you think on some days that you're like under that 90%, maybe 60, maybe 70?
Yeah.
Why do you think? I mean, is it the returns that are coming your way?
It can be return. It can be, setup. It can be too much swing. It can be technique, right? So it could be, surroundings in terms of
wind,
there's a lot of different things that can go into play. I will say when I was at Red Rock, it was pretty windy. I don't know how it was on Sunday. Just because, like I said, we my Augie and I actually left on Sunday to drive back to Arizona, but 90% for all 4 players is pretty sick.
That being said, in any conditions, that's pretty impressive. So so for those of you who are actually working on your game, it's really important. Third shot options, right? Whether you're driving, whether you're dropping, making sure that ball is going over is key, and we're seeing this at the highest levels. All right, so speed ups. Again, we're just going to go as a team. Diascu and Tardio initiated and won 16. Initiated and lost 14, so 53% success rate. And look at this, Caden. I mean, that's a huge percentage differential. We got Frazier and Johnson initiating 26 and winning it, initiating and losing 10. So they're up at 72%. You know what's just crazy actually in this right now? Well, Diascu doesn't initiate as much as Tardio, right? But I mean, we got 16 initiated and one in the Diascu and Tardio, and then we got 26, man. We got 10 more. And maybe, obviously the speed ups is a big part of the game, so that's huge.
Yeah. You know what's crazier too?
Yeah.
J-Dub doesn't attack off the bounce.
I know.
That's nuts.
Well, so here's the thing, right? And there's at some point there's going to be stats on this, Caden, but obviously, like Johnson's speed ups are going to be all out of the air, backhand flicks, rolls, and then Dylan's are going to be a little bit of both. But Frazier doesn't speed up off the bounce on the backhand side either.
No. But he doesn't really take that many balls on the backhand side unless it's in the air.
Well, yeah, I mean, he gets cross-court dinks all day.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But he's never going to take a ball really off the off the bounce.
No, I
on the
know,
backhand side, like,
because he
ever.
doesn't have a two-hander.
Well, he doesn't need to.
Yeah, I understand that.
J-Dub will take that ball.
No, I'm talking about J-Dub.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He doesn't speed up off the backhand side. He doesn't speed up off the bounce in general.
No, he does not.
So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Imagine if JW started throwing some twoies in there. Be pretty nasty.
He has it.
Yeah.
I just don't think he.
Yeah. I think so. Here's my prediction. I think JW is going to be throwing in more two-handed speed ups and things eventually. So we'll have to see.
We will see.
Okay, so Dinks into the net or wide. Basically, unforced error Dinks. And again, throughout the entire game, 3 on Dayaskew,
super
Frazier,
clean.
and Johnson, and 0 errors, Dink errors from Tardio. So basically, per game average, right? Per game from all 4 players is 3 missed dinks per game. So very impressive. Very, very impressive.
No, that's an average of 1 per game.
No, I'm saying as the whole.
Yeah.
Well, 3.
Yeah,
game.
but like, yeah.
Yeah, 1 on each. Yes, you're right. So another way to rephrase that is 1.
Each of them made maybe one dink miss
per game. So very, very, very.
Highlight reel. Dayaskew, none. Frazier, none. Johnson, none. Gabe had one though.
Highlight reel is like Ernie's, ATPs, things like that. Offensive lobs, only 1. Interesting.
Yeah.
So we got that. All right. So
let's move on to mixed.
Yeah, mixed doubles. Etta Wright and Ben obviously beating Anna Bright and James Ignatowicz.
Here's what I want to see.
Okay.
I want to see the third shot percentages.
Yeah. We're gonna see. So
here
again, we actually just had James Ignatowicz on the podcast, and he was a great guest. I think a lot of you enjoyed that. If you didn't look at that, go ahead and check that out. Again, really quick, we're gonna be answering your questions right after this. But here we go. Ben John's at a right, 1,600 shots. What was the shots in the men's? 1,300. So yeah, because there's, I think this makes sense in mixed to have a little bit more rallies because a lot of the rallies are maybe going cross court more often. But okay, so we're gonna get right into it. Here we go. Wright and Johns, okay, are at 72% drops, okay, and then we got Ignatowicz and Anna Bright at 29%.
Well,
dude.
Hold on. Anna had 14 drops to 3 drives, and then you just go full on Uno reverse, and James has 4 drops and 40 drives.
Okay,
that's
all
why
right.
the drop total is so low.
So hold on. So let's break this down. So Etta Wright and Ben Johns both high on the drops. Okay, then we got Anna Bright dropping more than 3 times her drives.
Yeah.
Then we got Ignatowicz dropping 10 times, driving 10 times more. Exactly. Yep. So Ignatowicz had 4 drops and 40 drives. So interesting, Caden. So my thought process is, even not watching the entire match, I'm going to have to go back. But my thought process on that is, James is really aggressive.
Yep.
And he's been working on his drives. And obviously, he's looking to drop his 5th. Or looking for Anna to crash in, or just looking for some offense.
I mean,
or he just didn't feel good on his drops. But 4 drops and 40 drives, that's pretty extreme.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah, I mean, obviously James is one of the harder hitters in pickleball.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that James, especially in mixed, I think he can get by kind of just pounding the ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to work. I think Ben is like the one guy that James needs to kind of like slow it down for in mixed.
Yeah, slow it down. But again, I don't think it would matter as much. We'll have to see. But if he's just dropping his 5ths, maybe it doesn't matter either.
For sure.
But again, one of the things that's funny, when I had James on the podcast, dude, one of the things he said is men's doubles is a lot harder transition from mix. He
Oh, for sure.
He was saying it's so easy. He's like, oh yeah, I just drive the ball and come in. So yeah, that's interesting. But okay, so that's very interesting. Obviously, Wright and Johns. And here's the other thing: they're sitting at 72% drops, Caden. But my thing is, obviously, if you look at the best droppers in the game, those are on the women's side. I would put Etta Wright, one of the top droppers. Yeah. Like consistency wise, and Ben Johns, one of the top droppers, doesn't miss. Yeah. So also I'm playing to your strengths. Right? Mm-hmm. So there's really no need for Johns and Wright to drive that much if they know that they have great resets, which both of them do, and they could come in.
Got that
transition.
Right.
So
let's see those percentages. Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
No way. Okay.
Holy.
Okay. So third shots kept into play. We're gonna go over there.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
What?
James with 39 out of 44. What are the odds? James missed 4 third shot drops and said, "F it, I'm driving only now," and he went 39 for 40 on his drives. What if?
Dude,
what if?
You know what?
We gotta watch that back.
We gotta watch that back. Okay, so we'll work down up.
Wow, Ben's.
Ignatowicz,
Holy mackerel.
Ignatowicz, 88%, 39 out of 44 third shots kept into play. Remember, this could be a drive or a drop. Anna Bright, 15 out of 17. You know what's really interesting? Okay, so 88. So it worked out. They're both 88, my favorite number, by the way.
That's a great number.
88%, so very close to 90.
Yeah.
Very high percentage, championship level. Anna Bright only got 15 returns. This is
17.
This is what 17. This is what it shows me. Yeah. Obviously, Ignatowicz is coming over towards the middle.
Right.
But dude, look at that. That's huge. That means they're really keeping that ball, or maybe strategically going to Ignatowicz. Yeah. I don't know.
Keep him out of poaching territory.
So we're gonna go Etta right now. 33 out of 35 third shots kept in play. 94%. Yeah. High elite level. And you know what's a little bit more elite? Ben Johns' number right now. 48 out of 49. That's like stupid. That's like almost an A. That's like A minus plus.
A minus plus? What the hell does that even mean, dog?
Or like, in grade school, like, no, 48 of 49. That's like almost perfect score, bro. I mean,
that looks pretty damn perfect to me. I mean, 97%.
So 97%.
Oh my god.
So, and also with 49 attempts, dude, we got Ben Johns, and most of these are drops. Remember?
Yeah.
So the accuracy, folks. Yeah. The accuracy of Ben and the comfortability on his backhand or forehand drops is just, dude, I'm going to just work. I'm going to work on my drops after this number.
Dude, we should go out right after this podcast and just hit 49 of them and see how many we make compared to how many
it just has to be over the net.
Yeah.
I'll be probably, I'll give me, at least 45.
Yeah. I'll be like at least 50.
So. All right. So Speedups, we're going to go right into it. So we got Wright and Johns at a 72% success rate. And then we
initiated 0.
Yeah. So she played her, dude. She
technically she didn't lose any.
She didn't lose any. And then we got Bright Ignatowicz 55%. So again, if we're just looking at speed up numbers, there's a lot more in the game, but same thing. Whoever won men's, right, was like a 20% difference. And look at this. So
look at James, 50% successful. That's not a great number.
Yeah.
It's not a bad number.
Yeah, it's
not a bad number for pickleball.
Okay.
But not great.
Bro, look at this. Now we're getting into errors. Dinks into the net, excuse me. Ignatowicz 6 errors, which is, but again, he's applying a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anna Bright and Etta at 3, Miss Dinks. And we have Ben Johns at nilch.
Yeah, that's
0.
That's pretty stupid.
That's filthy.
Yeah, filthy. In mixed.
Yeah, so Ben Johns
in mixed.
Ben Johns missing 0 dinks. Impressive. All right. So that was we're just gonna hop into the women's final.
Yeah.
And Tina Pisnik, not an up and comer, but I am gonna say she hasn't been in many finals. This has got to be maybe the first in women's, I believe. She's been in a mixed final, I think.
She was just.
I don't know if she's
in a mix. She gets, honestly, her and Deckel do really well in mix.
I don't know if she's been in a women's doubles final. This might be the first.
I think it is.
Am I right?
It might be, yeah.
Okay, but anyways, obviously high-level player playing with Leah Jansen and against Anna Bright and Callie Smith. I don't know where Rohrabacher was.
I don't either.
This tournament.
Maybe just took a week off.
But anyways.
A lot of tournaments in the month of April, can't lie.
We got Leah and Tina winning in straight games.
Anna and Callie were the 1 seed?
Yeah. Well, Anna Bright is...
oh, that's nuts.
So check this out, dude. Rally 1,700. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Actually, I would expect it to be shorter than the men's because they like to pull the trigger.
It's true.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, but you're going to... Oh, my God. Look at the
But let's just see this really quick. Bright, so Anna Bright, Callie Smith, 60% drops. Jansen, Pisnik, 60% drops. Okay, wow.
Both same
drops.
Huh.
So then we're gonna go into third shots kept into play. Wow, man.
Wow.
It just shows the same. It's interesting actually how Anna Bright only got 8 attempts.
Yeah, maybe maybe just she wasn't feeling the thirds at all this weekend, huh?
Wow. Well, no, she's not getting returns in this situation, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, Anna Bright at 87%, Callie Smith at 95%, dude.
That's really good for
Callie. 43 out of 45.
That's impressive.
Jansen at 94% and Pisnik at 94%.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
Awesome. What a weekend of pickleball, huh?
Yeah, so again, we're seeing common themes here, Caden, is that third shot is so important to keep in. Just keep in the point.
Yeah. You know what's not a good number?
Yeah. Brighton Smith's initiation attacks at 40%.
Yeah. Callie's initiated and won 3, initiated and lost 15.
Yeah. So so Callie Smith, not her day on Speedups and initiating. But Jansen and Pisnik, dude, almost at 80%.
It honestly kind of just like sounds like they grinded the hell out of them and just like kept it soft.
Yeah.
Didn't it's funny because I've talked about this with a lot of people and like how the women's game could change a lot actually is, obviously like the waters and the I would say the modern game of women's is very bang, bang, bang and fast, fast, fast. And it's actually, in my opinion, more entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But there are going to be women's teams that come in and start to kind of just slow it all down. And
well, again, I think James...
Shallow dinks and kind of start to take that away a little bit. And I think, honestly, I wouldn't doubt at all if Tina and Leah kind of played more of that game.
Well, a couple of things here, and I think James kind of alluded this on the podcast, Caden, but, the reason why, some things that you guys could think about, the reason why there's a lot less of those kind of long extended dink rallies. Well, number one, a lot of the women are using two-handed backhands. So they're not taking balls out of the air and reaching in.
True.
And they're shorter. And James was right when he said this. Like, obviously, genetically, guys are just longer, and they're reaching in. A lot of backhand flicks.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of pros in the women's that are doing that because they're using a lot of two-e's, which is just a style.
Right.
So most of their speed-ups are going to be off of the bounce.
Tina doesn't have a 2E.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a strictly one-hander from what I know.
Yeah.
And then... the women play off the line a little bit more because of that reason. So we're going to see bigger swings and more exciting plays at times. So
for sure.
All right. So we got everyone around the 4 to 5 missed dinks, but still a low number.
Still a good number.
Still a good number. All right. So men's singles final. We're just going to quickly go over this. Stackshrud takes over and beats Jack Sock and Mary Brasha, defeating Leah Jansen.
Mary Brasha,
yeah.
Winning her first PPA title. So congrats, Mary B. That's a good win.
Yeah.
And
there we go.
PPA Red Rock. Pretty
All right.
legit.
We're going to hop right into your questions, folks. Your questions
Questionnaire.
to us. Q&A. I know that was, if you were a nerd and you would like to nerd out on those stats and things like that, that would be, those stats. And
Are you calling Jim Kloss a nerd?
So let me ask you this: you're saying Jim Kloss does those?
I think so. I think he does.
I don't know if that's the truth though. I don't know. Shout out, comment below if you know who takes those stats for the PPA.
I want to say he does.
But there's got to be, bro. I'm thinking that there's AI nowadays for that kind of stuff.
No.
But we'll see.
Author, not Jim Kloss.
Yeah, someone else, dude.
Jim Ramsey.
Jim Ramsey.
I bet you that's Jim Kloss's fake name.
Dude, I don't know, but Jim Ramsey, we got to get Jim Ramsey on the podcast, bro.
Jim Ramsey, wherever you are.
Bro,
freeze, you're under arrest.
The statistician
and we're gonna
of the PPA.
Yeah, we're gonna put you
we would love to have you
in the hot seat.
We would love to have you
and ask you a lot of questions.
We're hopping right into the Q&A portion of this. Again, send your questions in, and we should have a link below to do that for the next one. But we're gonna hop right into your questions. Question number 1. Should you and your partner always be up at the kitchen at the same time? Caden, go. We're answering questions here.
Yes and no.
I
got you. I know. Well, there's a situation and there's a time and place for when you guys can move together and when you guys can detach from one another. So we've talked about this before on previous videos or podcasts, but it is okay to detach from your partner. You don't always have to stick together and moving up to the line or staying back or doing whatever, but you also have to trust each other. So if I'm playing with Jordan, there's no way in hell I'm trusting his third shot drop, so I might stay a little bit closer to home. I'm just kidding. No, if I am playing with Jordan, I would probably detach a little bit more because I know he's got good shots that'll stay low, and me coming up will apply a little bit of pressure, maybe scare my opponents a little bit more. Maybe I can look to poach. So there is no right or wrong answer in this case. Yes and no. If you find that maybe you play with someone that isn't as consistent or solid, then maybe you want to stay a little bit closer to them. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really getting all based on what I think my opponent is hitting.
Yep.
2 things. What the quality of the shot that I think they're going to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so again, this question I guarantee is like asking specifically, how do we approach a net? So that's 1. Number 2, and what players don't think about, it's going to really depend on my reset ability in transition.
Yeah.
So that being said, if you are very comfortable in reset land, in that transition zone, you can be more aggressive with your movement in. And this is why we see at high levels, we see detachment all the time. I mean, almost 100% of the time, you will not see pros
stick together. It's true. It's true.
It's always putting pressure, and that is because they know that A, they're going to hit fairly good drops or low drives, and B, they have great resets. So if you don't know your partner, what the heck they're going to hit, and you don't also aren't comfortable in reset land, hitting resets when you need to dig yourself out those opportunities, I would actually encourage you to maybe hang back with your partner. But
hell yeah,
it's definitely situational. We're going to hop right into the next question here. And here it is. Hi, I'm hoping you can help me with a particular shot. I'm around 4-0. I've played and won in nationals, but struggle with the low backhand dink shot. I seem to get wristy, intend to turn my wrist over. How can you help? This is easily the best instruction I've seen on YouTube. I think he's talking about us. Thank you.
Oh.
And I've seen them all. Keep up the good work. Barry, thank you, Barry, from Seal Beach, where all the seals are. Okay.
Barry, we love you. Thank you for the support.
Yeah. So, struggling with a low backhand dink shot. We've never seen struggles with that.
No, never.
Players, right? Kaden?
No, I only see it in my own game every stinking day. No, I'm just kidding.
Go ahead.
I would say personally, the backhand specifically, a lot of the time it comes down to our footwork. I would also say that when you tend to find, I call them kind of wrist tick flicks. All right. When we start to kind of do this with our dinks, all right, I call it a wrist tick. And it's because it kind of looks like we're ticking just our wrist to get that ball over the net. Typically that is hemmed and started all with our footwork, then usually our contact point, and then we start to kind of do weird things because we're not in the position that we should be. So if you are finding that, you have that wrist tick and, you're not as consistent as you want to be, focus on that 3-step process that I talk about a lot, and that is your footwork, your contact point, and your swing speed. Jordan.
Yeah, we have a lot of videos on the backhand dink and stuff like that. But again, I brought a paddle here. This is
oh my God.
Did
you have that in your pocket?
Yeah. If you do find yourself, obviously flicking your wrists, at the end of the day, you have movement in your actual wrist.
Yeah.
Obviously. So we need to, one of the things that we need to do is work on stabilizing that. So I see here's one thing that may be a thing, and I see this a lot, Caden. We call this, a strong wrist position, right? It's like a cocked wrist here, and it's up. Like if I were to just make a fist like this and then put my hand there, that's a good wrist position. I see a lot of players actually dinking like this.
True.
With their wrists like this. This is a very weak wrist position.
Not ideal.
And so number one, I would practice in this wrist position. And number two, whether it's a lift or a slice, we have to work on stabilizing this. We're going to come out with I'm specifically going to record a wall video. Working on dinks and dink volleys. So maybe it's going to come out soon. But again, I think really just working on a wall, just simply, if you don't have a partner, can really help in just working on stabilizing that wrist. And it's really important for resets, for counters, for everything. The only time I'm really breaking my wrist if we're doing a backhand flick, which is very advanced shot. And we have a video on that too. So
let's go.
There we go. So with the game evolving, next question. Thank you, Barry. With the game evolving with more and more firefight, speed-ups, etc. from the yellow and sometimes red zone, what are some of the tells you look for? I find it very difficult to anticipate speed-ups, especially those coming to my chest or dominant shoulder, which is definitely the hardest shot in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll start off with this one.
Go for it.
You're right. Gen 3 has arrived. So we got a lot of pace and more firefights and speed ups. You know what? You didn't see this one coming, Kaden. You didn't see this answer coming. Oh. But one thing that players can work on is hitting more unattackable dinks. That's number one. So, folks, if you, one of the reasons why if you are getting lit up a lot and sped up a lot, I mean, you may be hitting a lot of dead dinks. Yep. And maybe hitting dinks that are a little bit high. So again, first of all, just plainly working on more aggressive dinks so that they do that less. Anticipating speed ups. Here's a couple of things I would say. Is obviously always expect to speed up. That's always going to help. Yep. But when the ball bounces in front of players and they're speeding up off the bounce, always look at that foot. If they're stepping back and waiting and they're dropping their paddle head, that's one I'm looking for. I know that's always an opportunity to speed up. And basically anytime that paddle drops out of the air, or off the bounce skate, and anytime it kind of drops a little bit below the ball,
it's kind of a sign.
I'm kind of a sign again. So that's me. Anything for you, and specifically when they're going to the dominant shoulder side, Kaden, maybe you can answer that part.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of same thing as you is mindset. First things first is if you don't have the mindset of expecting pace, then you're already a step behind. So of course, always expect that ball to come fast, and then when it doesn't, of course, then we can react and take our time. But I would also say, just like how we take steps back in dinks, we're not going to be taking steps back in this case, but maybe steps to the side, like left or right. just to give ourselves space on spots that maybe we get jammed on. So we've done a few videos on the backhand slide, sliding and giving yourself some space on the backhand.
Yeah.
If you're playing on the left side, sometimes you might need to slide to the left and get to the forehand side. So using your body in a way that you can always give yourself some space to have a clean contact is really important. And lastly, I would honestly say just look for little cues that your opponents can give you. I would say at the amateur level and even at the pro level, a lot of players give away speed ups, whether it's backswing, whether it's faster movement. Sometimes it's the eyes getting a little bit bigger. Sometimes it's the mouth opening. Sometimes it's honestly like it's grunting.
Mouth opening.
Yeah, you've never seen that? Like people do that. Like when they're like, about to speed up,
okay.
their mouth drops a little bit. I actually was playing in the Bay Area a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I went back home for APP Sacramento, and I stayed home. And do you remember AC?
Yes.
So I actually played a mixed game with her and a couple other Bay Area folks.
Shout out to AC.
Yeah, AC. It was AC, David Litvinoff, and Sabrina. I don't know Sabrina's last name. Fun little mixed game. But I played a few games with AC.
Yeah.
And then I played a few games against AC. And AC, of course, just how like she was a few years ago when she used to play with us, is very much a banger.
Yeah.
Tennis player, loves to hit the ball hard.
Yeah.
And there were a few times where, she gets away with kind of her power because she is a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
And she hits the ball well.
Yeah.
But every time she hit the ball at me, it was a put away. I was like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night. Good night. Good night. There was not one speed up that she hit at me that worked. And believe it or not, I actually realized after she hit like her first two, that every time she hits the ball hard or is going to hit the ball hard, she goes, and then she goes, and she swings.
No way. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And so I told her after the game, she was like, hey, tell me whatever you see. And I was like, you want my honesty? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you give away your speed ups. And she was like, what? What do you mean? I was like, you grunt when you hit the ball hard. So every time I start to hear you go, I already know you're going to hit the ball hard. So now I'm already expecting pace. I'm one step ahead of you now. And she was like, oh, shoot. I didn't even think about that. And I was like, hey, sometimes it's
a good read, dude.
Sometimes it's that obvious.
Yeah, for me, if you're ever playing against me, you'll see my left ear just go. So you got.
I saw that.
So you really got to tell,
when I hit a speed up, you're never going to be able to tell because I'm just a ninja.
Hide your speed ups, folks. Hide your speed ups.
Do it. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna keep moving on. All right. Let's just here. We're gonna skip some of these.
I was gonna say, how do you win when your opponents target your partner?
We're gonna do. We may
here's
do
my answer. You don't. I'm just kidding.
We're gonna. Hey, if that's really one of your questions, we might do that in an actually separate episode. But if I've hit a plateau, this was one obviously that people ask. If I've hit a plateau, how do I break through?
Here, hold on. I got this one. Put the camera on me. Hi, I'm Caden Niemoff with Briones Pickleball. Have you ever heard of a 5-day intensive? Well, now you have. Join us.
That was good, dude. I really like that.
That's our ad.
Yeah, there you go. But there you go. So seriously, a lot of players get stuck in this. I've felt this multiple times, Caden. I mean,
have you really?
I mean, multiple times, at least feeling like, hey, like how do I get better from here? Even at the 5-0 level, when I first got the 5-0, I'm like, hey, how do I get better? But
I felt that in December.
Yeah. Okay. But seriously though, plateau. So it definitely is a mindset thing, and maybe there are things and barriers that need to be broken. So, if here's a couple scenarios, obviously, right? If you're hitting a plateau, a lot of the times you're playing with the same players.
Yep.
Doing the same things.
Yep.
Expecting different results.
Yep.
Insanity. Right?
Yep.
So, again, obviously, the 4 pillars of the game, what we talked about, and Caden is talking about our 5-day intensive, we'd love to see you there. But again, if you are constantly doing the same things, same drills, playing with the same people, and same techniques, you're not working on your footwork, you're not working on your speed ups, your technique, it actually leads itself to for you to be the same player.
Yeah.
So getting a coach, right? We'd love to see you on the court, or getting somebody to look at your technique, to look at your footwork, your weak spots, just like you said, like AC, right? She was selling that speed up. Right.
Let me know early.
Letting you know, sending you that email super early. So, hey, Kenny, I'm gonna
speed up right now.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can do to work through your game, but it has to be changed.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you're working on something, a lot of times though, Caden, in our intensives, a lot of times players at the end of the day, at the end of the intensive, they tell me, wow, you really don't know what you don't know. And that's one of the things that we hear all the time, because
every time,
a lot of times players come and train with us, and we do work on a lot of the things that they ask for.
Right.
And also, hey, I just need to hit this. But there are things that, every intensive I teach, there are things that players did not even know that they need major improvement on.
Just with the basics. Which
is actually affecting something else that they want to work on. Right? Like, they want to work on whatever. They want to work on their speed ups or how to handle spin or whatever, but their positioning and their footwork needs work.
It's true.
And again, that's that. So if you hit a plateau, watch our videos. We would love to see you, but you do at some point, especially on that plateau kind of line, you do need an extra set of eyes. There's really no way around it. And this is why we're seeing even pro players start to have coaches nowadays.
It's true.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We'll get to this one here. How do you hit a powerful slice drive without the ball sailing out of bounds? I got an answer for you.
I also have an answer
Ready?
for you.
You don't.
Don't do it. Don't freaking do it.
Really? Okay. Yeah,
That's my answer.
Okay. So this person is obviously actually probably talking about hitting third shot drives with slice. Can it be done? Yes, it could be done. But
I used to do it back in the day when I didn't have a real backhand drive.
Yeah. But the problem is your paddle face is open and you're normally swinging down or swinging linear. So the slice is really good for like returns and also dinks, things like that. But when we're driving the ball, we need the ball to come in. This is why topspin is very important. So yeah, he didn't say forehand or backhand, but I'm assuming maybe it's a backhand here. But either way, this is why topspin is so important, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever level you are, even if you're at 3.035, it is beneficial to start learning. We have a lot of videos on this. Check out the channel, but learning the basics of how to create spin, because it's going to do you a huge,
super important
service.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. This is kind of both of them at the same time though, Caden.
Yep.
With all the new pickleball paddles that are on the market, how do I find the best one? How do I choose a paddle? Now, Caden, you're experimenting kind of just a lot of different paddles. You have kind of the option to just try different ones right now.
I have been trying a few different.
So seriously though, now I want you to not water this down, but answer it to a broad, different people.
For sure.
What do you look for personally? What are the top 2 or 3 things that you look for in a paddle, and why?
So first things first, as a player, you have to know your strengths and your weaknesses. All right. So this means either you make a list or you have a friend that helps you make a list, but you guys need to decipher what you're good at and maybe what you're not as good at. All right. So for me, let's talk about just some of my strengths. My strengths are my control, my resets. I would say I like to, I am most comfortable playing that soft game, and oh yeah. But that also being said, I like to play the fast game. I like to be ready for the fast game. So I like to attack, but I also am very comfortable playing a slow game. All right. So for me, I like something that has a little bit more pop, because at the end of the day, I trust myself with the soft stuff, and I want something that will give me a little bit more when I want to be aggressive, right? So as someone maybe like Jordan, who loves to reset the ball and loves the, the thought of consistency and being at that 90 to 95%.
Yeah.
That's what really, gets him going.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he might want something that's softer and where he's going to feel like, okay, maybe I'm not going to be as aggressive, but when that ball comes my way, every single ball is going back over the net.
Yeah. So, well, Caden, just a little, not self-assessment, but friend assessment. You're obviously high-level player. You're comfortable with all the soft stuff. But for me, when I'm playing you,
I love to be aggressive.
Your strengths to me are all your offense.
Yeah.
So out of the air.
Yeah.
So we got your backhand flicks. We got your counter attacking. We have your
That's so sweet.
Your speed ups. I mean, it's mediocre, right? So we got your.
I wasn't trying to just bloat about myself, but
yeah,
thank you. That's really nice.
No, but counters, right? Attacking.
Yeah.
Drives, your mid-court attacking.
Yep.
Basically, when you put pace on the ball. So when obviously, you're comfortable resetting and all that, but I think your true strengths are going to be in your attacking game.
Yeah.
So it would make sense for you, right, if you can handle the paddle that you're playing with,
right,
to have strong counters
for sure,
for flicks, for rolls, all that.
Yeah.
So
that's why I used that power air all last year. I felt comfortable with the control part, so I just wanted something to kind of give me a little bit more on the attacking side. Yeah.
So for me, obviously, Lux. Now this is probably the softest, thickest paddle on the market, but I may be changing definitely at some point. But for me,
right now,
resets and consistency, like you said,
that's your baby.
Is my most important thing, and I feel like I can be a reset machine. I feel like I train Colin Johnson sometimes when I'm playing out there.
Yeah. You think so?
No, but I feel good. I feel good about my resets, so that's why. Again, if I'm gonna switch to a different paddle with more power at some point,
it's still got to have some control.
It has to have control.
For sure.
I'm probably never gonna play with the true power.
Yeah, I believe you.
Watch our paddle reviews, folks. And whoever asked this question, we do a lot of them, and maybe make a good recommendation
for sure
to you. Caden, this is a really good one for you. Well, because you talk about it a lot. We teach it a lot, but in your game today, and also I get this question a lot with players that come to our intensive. But what's the best way to improve your footwork?
Let me tell you guys, the best way to improve your footwork is by actually just committing to doing it correctly.
There you go.
I think the craziest part about teaching footwork, and I've had intensives where like I've probably spent a good hour on just footwork and getting the ball in the place that you want it to be, because if you don't have proper footwork, you don't really have a whole lot in pickleball. All right?
Tell them.
So the only way you can do it is by actually getting yourself to do it correctly and then literally getting it tattooed in your brain. It's the only way you can do it.
Not a literal tattoo, but
I mean, if you have to do it, do it.
Oh. Wow.
But you could practice it on the court. You can practice it off the court. You can practice it in the kitchen. You can practice it in the living room.
There you go.
You can practice it in your bedroom. You can practice it in your kids' room. You can practice it in the playroom. You can practice it in the downstairs workspace.
Yeah. Let's talk about some places that would be a little weird to practice it. So probably a library would be one.
But it's still available.
Yep. Another one.
Maybe a porta potty. That'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Maybe a Super Bowl party would be pretty strange. But
okay. All right. I mean,
maybe a quinceañera.
Oh, maybe on the dance floor. Okay.
It'd still look pretty legit.
Right. So folks,
make
sure you check out. We'll try to leave some links below, but we have several videos on the shuffle step and the angled shuffle step.
Yep.
Which are super important.
Yeah. And if you need more places for me to name that you could practice your shuffle step, I'll do it. Try me.
There you go. So practice it. And Caden, I was actually surprised. One time we were talking, and you said you actually do practice it off the court.
I do. Heck yeah.
You say when you're watching TV.
As a part of my warm up.
Yeah.
I do it when I'm just watching TV sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I just do it outside because I'm bored.
There you go, folks. All right. So for those tournament players out there, we're going to do more mental stuff in the future, Caden, but we got this one here.
Ooh.
We got how do you combat your nerves and emotions that are getting in the way of your performance during a tournament? So obviously, Caden, super important question when we're talking about competing, right? So, and you've been involved in a lot of tournaments, playing against lower level players, really good players, and obviously against like the top level players.
Yeah.
What do you do? And has it always been your thing where you're really not that nervous when you play, or you had to overcome that at a younger age, even before pickleball? I mean,
I used to be, I would say when I first started playing baseball, my first year of hitting, I was pretty nervous. But, one thing that my dad used to say to me is like, your nerves, they can be your best friend or they can be your worst enemy. And I really like that saying because it really depends on how you can kind of channel your nerves and how you handle them as an athlete,
So you're basically saying no matter who you are, there's going to be nerves.
For sure.
Okay.
Everybody has had nerves, before. And if you're saying I've never had nerves before, you're full of it. All right. There's 2 letters before I said it.
He said it.
But I said it. All right.
This is a family show.
This is a family show. That's why I said it. But I would say personally, one thing that I do before I play tournaments is I actually just take a moment to myself before I even start the day. So in between my warm-up and my first match, I give myself about 10 to 15 minutes while I'm kind of just waiting for my text. And I honestly just give myself 10, 15 minutes of just sitting in a chair, eyes closed, just listening to my surroundings, listening to my breathing. And that has kind of really helped me kind of calm the nerves in the stomach. Not that I have that many anymore, but, just to get myself relaxed and settled in. And obviously if you're nervous, it's really important to make sure you're breathing and, hearing yourself breathe and relaxing your heart rate and your mind. But yeah, just being able to just listen to your surroundings, listening to the wind, the birds, people talking about everything.
Not music or anything. So you do this just...
No.
I didn't know that you do that. So you do that every tournament then?
I started doing it at the beginning of this year. Cool. And it's just my way of kind of just finding peace, finding center, getting locked in, and being a beast out there, trying at least.
Oh, there you go. Okay, folks. All right, I think we're going to cut it off there. We're going to talk about MLP. Again, we're going to try to get to more questions next time. But we're just going to quickly talk about MLP because it is this week.
Holy smokies.
It is this week, and we're just going to – this is going to be quick. We're not going to – we're not going to exhaust you with everything, everybody. Nope. But we are going to talk about – some of the teams.
Why don't we just go over the teams? We'll kind of just look at each team, and then why don't you tell me your top 3 teams?
Well, we're just gonna look here.
Okay.
Again, this is the we'll start with the challengers here, and I don't know. Let's just go down the list.
I will say, hold on, Atlanta Bouncers, Angie Walker, that's my girl right there.
Okay.
Obviously you gotta love Jao Mei and Todd. That's a sick team right there.
Oh, is that Todd Fott?
Todd Fote.
Okay.
Yep.
Fote.
And then the Breakers have Rachel and PK, two of my squad right there. All right. Then DJ Young, that's my boy. I'm actually gonna. He's staying with us in Atlanta.
Dude, the Black Bears is actually not a bad.
Black Bears are a good team. All right.
Okay.
Jack Monroe on the Chicago Slice. That's my dog right there. It's my day one right there. Wait, hold on. Go back up a little bit.
Dude, we're not going to go through every team.
Oh, yeah. Florida Smash.
Okay.
Travis Rettenmeyer's back on the Florida Smash.
Okay. All right. So, I think, you know what? I'll give it to Atlanta and Black Bears. Those are good teams to me, man.
You like those teams, huh?
Yeah.
I think those are good teams too. Go down a little bit.
Can't count Jame out. You know what I mean?
No, can't do that.
You know, some of these guys, dude, and a lot of these ladies, I have to do some studying about this. The challengers. I don't know a lot of these challengers, man.
There's some new names for sure.
There's a lot of new names here, folks.
Are you a little confused on anybody here?
I mean, yeah, there's several. But anyways, what? Just pick one, Caden. We gotta pick your top 2 teams here.
Yeah, I think
go with the California Black Bears and then the Atlanta Bouncers. All right.
I think I like the Bouncers as well. I do really like that team. I can't lie.
Who is the high? Oh, they have the highest duper. If you
do they?
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yep.
that's
right.
impressive.
Okay, so there you go. But again, I just think that yeah, that's me. That is me, folks. And we're gonna hop right into, again, the challengers is not something I'm gonna, to be honest, I'm not gonna follow a ton.
Really? I'm gonna be watching some of it.
All right.
I'm gonna be watching some of it for sure.
I'm gonna be watching the
I gotta
premiere.
root on my folks, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Angie, PK, Rachel,
Let's
DJ.
There we go.
You know, Jack. That's my family right there, man.
So yeah, you
love
got
Jeremy, too.
you got a lot of players here that you've partnered with and played against. So,
yeah, that's true. I've played against a lot of these guys actually.
Yeah. So we've had PK into some videos. And John May's hopefully gonna come on. Yeah, we've had a lot going. Okay.
Yep. No doubt.
So that's that. The premiere, a lot more, familiar with this here. But again, we got our boy. Where is he? Where's Augie? All right.
He doesn't have a traditional
Yeah, he does.
MLP photo yet.
Yeah, but so seriously,
No headshot.
So we're gonna
That's his headshot. Why would he choose that as his
I
headshot?
don't think he chose it. I just think that someone just got it.
I mean, he looks cool.
But again,
Georgia needs a new one.
Yeah, we are definitely going to be rooting for Augie at the, in the Dallas.
Oh, and don't forget about Riley Newman right above him.
Yeah, Dallas Flash.
My guy's right there. But he is playing with my little brother, JW, which is pretty sick.
Dude, so Dallas Flash, obviously Tyra Black, Georgia, and JW Johnson and Augie. Dude, good scary team there. I'm excited.
That's a scary good team.
I'm excited to see Augie play. Or I'm excited basically to see JW play with a lefty.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's going to be really interesting.
It'll be very interesting.
Riley and Connor Garnett, that's not a bad team either, bro.
No.
See, once you move up to this premiere, dude, all of these teams are
Brooke
good.
Buckner has been playing incredibly well, too. So I think the Columbus Sliders are going to be a good team. Dylan and Andre will be a interesting dynamic. I don't think I've ever.
No, I think
they're always playing against each other.
I think that's going to be a great team as well.
You think so?
We're going to pick.
I don't know how this Dallas team is gonna. I mean, you got James and Deckel. Both guys like to play the left.
DC.
So, what did I say? Dallas?
Yeah, you said.
I apologize. I meant DC, folks.
Okay, so let's drop down here.
Ooh, that New Jersey 5 team is kind of sick too.
New Jersey 5. Who is this?
That is Will Howells.
That is Will Howells, yep.
Zane's obviously a dog. Mari Humberg. Annalie
Waters.
Waters.
#1 women in the world. Will Howells.
Back on the 5s.
And,
Back on the 5s.
Okay, so
New York Hustlers are kind of a sick team.
Let's do a quick pick here.
Can't lie.
Oh,
Can't
man,
lie.
there's just so many teams here. Okay, so I'm gonna take my pick here. Ben and Colin. Obviously, you can't count out Seattle Pioneers. Obviously, with Ben and Colin, but you know what? The mixed and the women's is going to obviously be the tough part because there's a lot of good mixed teams and women's teams.
There are.
So you know what? St. Louis Shock. Look at this with Hayden and Tardio, man. Not a bad team out of Bright.
No, not a bad team at all.
It's a good one as well.
I don't know how I feel about the Utah Black Diamonds. Can't say that's going to be the greatest team ever, but you never know.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna pick my top here. Dude, I think, man, it's so hard. These may be these top four teams here. These are all high quality teams. Dude.
Really?
I mean, they're high quality, dude. So obviously, I'm not gonna count Ben and Colin out. But if I had to pick between these two, I think I'm going to go with Dallas Flash. And I'm going to go, this is going to be risky. Do I go with Columbus or do I go with DC or AC. Okay, let's just pick out of these.
Go down. Okay, yeah. Go back up. Go back
No,
up.
we're just gonna pick from these 4.
Honestly, Orlando might be a pretty good team.
Okay. Orlando,
Federico,
Tyson.
Let's get it to the Dream Breaker, huh?
Yeah, getting to the Dream Breaker.
Get it to the Dream Breaker, and we're in good position.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting when we get singles going. But again, picking a team to win. So let's just pick one team to win it all, Kaden. We could be totally off. It's gonna be really tough. But you know what? I'm not gonna actually go with Ben and Colin. I'm actually going. This is just gonna be hard. Oh,
honestly, I'm on a toss up.
This is just really hard.
Like flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin on this one. But you know what? I'm gonna go with. It's actually impossible. This is what makes MLP great, everybody. This is what makes MLP great. But you know what? I'm gonna go because you got to think about singles as well. I don't know. Let's go Dallas Flash, baby. Let's go Dallas Flash. What do we got, Kaden?
I'm flipping a coin. I don't know if I'm picking one there.
Dude.
I really like Dallas's team, but I also like. Yeah, I mean, did you see Riley's run in MLP last year? He was filthy, and I think he could be really good with Connor. Obviously, Megan.
I know they're right there.
I think Megan is one of the sweetest girls on tour, and Brooke is super cool.
It's the singles, bro. You got to think about that, dude.
True.
Like, you look at singles. We got Tyra and Georgia, good singles players.
And Augie's not even that bad of a singles player. Yeah.
And then JW is a great singles player.
But Brooke just won a title. So did Connor.
Yeah.
Megan, I don't think I've ever seen her play singles.
That's what I'm saying. Megan,
and obviously, Riley hates singles.
So that's what I'm saying, man.
Riley, when you come back, bro, let's work on some singles because I need help too, honestly. You know, but
all right,
I need major help with singles.
I'm picking Dallas Flash. Go ahead, hurry up, Kaden. Make your pick.
I can't pick, man. That's too hard of a decision. Right?
Make your pick, bro. Let's go. Make your pick so that we can see if we're right. I'm going with Dallas. You could go with
someone. All right, fine. I'll go Columbus just because you said Dallas.
All right, Columbus. All right, folks. That's it. Who knows? We'll see. We'll keep up to date. Comment below if you would like us to kind of stay up to date and maybe do some podcasts kind of breaking down some of the, some of the matches and things like that. I don't know.
That'd be sick.
Comment down.
Yeah.
Below.
Well, we could do that for you. We could do anything we want for you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this podcast. I know you haven't seen Kaden in a while. Again, we're gonna both be in Boise for parts of it. You're gonna be there. Again, if you are listening to this and you really would love an opportunity, a great once in a lifetime opportunity to up your game, we'd love to see you on the court for one of our 5-day VIP intensive experiences.
Damn straight.
And Kaden, anything else? Sign us off, bro.
All right. Besides MLP Atlanta, I will be playing PPA Atlanta, so hopefully I'll catch you guys out there. If you guys recognize me, always feel free to say hello, give me a little dab up, introduce yourself, or even a high five. I'll take a high five or a fist bump. But without further ado, be kind, be nice, be cool, and we'll see you guys in the next one. That was so smooth.